What's up, guys? It's Collin Coates from Built2Wander. Today I'm out at Choke Cheery, New Mexico with Cade Rod from Jimmy's 4x4. Cade brought out his rear steer buggy that he just had built, and I brought the 392. Today we're gonna do a vehicle walk around on Cade's buggy, talk about how unique that thing is and what makes it stand out in a place like Choke Cheery. And then we're gonna go out, do some wheeling, show where that buggy shines and where the 392 shines, and the difference between your moderate technical trails to the real hardcore stuff that Cade will likely do in the buggy. Before we do that, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to Driving Line, and let's get after it. All right, so I got Cade Rod with me today. Cade, where are we at? What are we doing today?
Well, we're out here in Choke Cheery. We got the 392 and we got the rock crawler. Choke Cheery's super cool because it has a little bit of both worlds. You know, it has the mellow stuff, it has the hardcore stuff. So we're gonna see if we can't get into some trouble in the rock crawler and see if we can't get the 392 into some trouble, and we can see where each one shines and what's gonna be better for which climb.
Definitely. And then what's kind of unique about literally where we're standing?
What's cool about this spot in particular is this actually is where the We Rock rock crawling championships are held. So like all of these walls are all like bonus lines or main lines. So I've seen some of the best rock crawlers in the world compete here at this exact spot.
Yeah, so you gonna try a couple of them?
Of course.
All right, well, let's get after it. Have a good time out there.
What's up, guys? Cade Rod here, Ultra 4 racer, off-road enthusiast. Before we go and get this thing in some rocks, let's take a look at some of the parts we put on it. For starters, of course, we had to go with the biggest competition K-spec Nitto that we could. This is a sticky tire, so it grabs and goes everywhere. We actually filled them with water to make them really heavy, to where that way you have more force and it's able to pull you up and over big climbs or whatever. We had to go with the beautiful, before it was scuffed, Vision wheel, this big 20-inch. This thing is sweet. They take massive amounts of abuse and just hold air, keep trucking, so those are super cool. We had to go with Willwoods because whenever you're up on some of these climbs up in here on these big giant walls, you have to have your brakes working, and if they fail, it is a very, very, very sad day. We did the coffin cut for packaging and everything, cramming everything in there so we can see all four corners. And that was my little twist to the RW1. I don't think we've ever really done it before, so we of course went with the Bilstein shocks. This coilover, this is a 16-inch shock. It's a really long shock on here. This thing works great out in the desert, like going to the trail, and it also allows you to articulate, get it into some really crazy spots without completely rolling the car. Bulldog winch, huge when you're crawling. Gotta have a good winch. Gotta be able to have a plan B. Luckily, this thing performs well enough. I haven't used it yet. I just hook it onto the front housing to where whenever it starts getting light in the front, I'm able to suck it in, bring the whole car down to where that way it's easier to get up and over stuff. Of course, we went with Gearworks third members all in it, 583 gears to where it's geared low enough, but we can still get up to speed to get to the trail, so it's not 5 miles an hour everywhere that we go. Suspension PRP seats, of course, those are super comfortable. You don't run like a hard shell seat in a crawler typically, or at least I don't like to, because I like to be comfortable. I like to not be in like a race situation seat. All PSC power steering on it. Gotta have the steering work, of course, rear steer. So what we're running under the hood is we're running a V8. It's a L92 out of an Escalade, so it makes decent power to push these big heavy tires. It's hooked up to a Turbo 400 transmission. Super solid, super reliable. Pretty much what you would run with any V8 crawler similar to this. We got KC highlights on the front of it. These things will blow your eyes out if you stand too close. Whole thing runs on tiers of other rock crawlers, Jeepers. Whole thing runs on Don Wapo hot sauce. We just pour it right in the fuel tank. It's so spicy, it just keeps it running. You know, it's straight Don Wapo gasoline. So that's always nice. Of course, in the APCO driveline parts, you never have failures with the drivelines if you're running the APCO stuff. That's just a given. All Maxima fluids in there. We got Maxima gear oil, Maxima motor, trans, brake, everything. You can't go wrong with any other products. Yeah, we got rock stars in the coolers, of course. Can't go anywhere without some energy. We actually named it Frankenstein because of all the parts. These are all parts that we had either at the shop, laying around, or they were given to us on a trade and we just kind of pieced it together, but it's all the parts that we always wanted. So it really worked out. So there you guys have it. That's Frankenstein. There's the walk around. Car's super unique, car's super fun. Now let's go get it twisted up in some rocks.
Cade walked up everything in his buggy like it was just nothing. And I tried to do a few of the same obstacles in the Jeep. A couple of the more moderate climbs weren't too bad, but that one wall, I mean.
Yeah, that was borderline hardcore wheeling right there that you were trying to do in the Jeep. So totally understand. I think you could have made it, but not without some damage done to the cab. So that's one of the things, like with a crawler, you know, like you can lay it on its side and you're not worried about it because you trailer it in, you don't drive it to the trail. So yeah, those are the pros and cons, you know.
Yeah, this thing tips, you just tip it right back over, keep going. Yep. If mine tips, it's gonna be interesting 6-hour drive back home. So we put tires on it, but you know, I don't know, felt pretty sketchy. The front end started getting light, and that's just kind of like where it's just not worth it. But there's so much more out here that I can go enjoy in that Jeep, and then again, leave the technical stuff to Cade in his buggy, and that's kind of the beauty of Choke Cheery.
Yeah, the cool thing about Choke Cheery is it's such grippy rock that everything out here is so big. So like when you pull up on a climb, you just think it's impossible. But then the car will just usually just grip and just pull right up it. Some stuff you have to hit a little harder, hit a little faster, but that's what gets the adrenaline going out here, is everything's so much bigger than anywhere else because it has to be to make it hard because how grippy the rock is.
Yeah, you're just completely up, you know, completely vertical. You can't see anything in front of you. You just got to kind of trust where your rig's at, and obviously your spotter, which is huge. Yeah. So anyways, we're gonna go explore some more trails and continue to have a good time out here.
I made the devil run. I gave him poison just for fun. I had one friend, now there's none. I made the devil run. I broke so many bones, but none of them were ever my own. They were an army
That was great. That's a hard climb too. I mean, I fought it forever, so to be able to throw him in there and actually be able to spot somebody up it's a whole different thing, you know. When I'm in there, I'm kind of going off of feel and listening, but that was great. That was awesome.
All right, so we're playing around out here. We found a pretty sick spot for Cade's buggy. Something new to try out. There was no tire marks on it, which tells us no one's tried it. And Cade made it through after a little finessing and really made light work of it. So you broke the trail, so what are we gonna call it?
I think we're gonna name it Spider Monkey, just because whenever you're in it, you really have to get the rear steer involved. You have to kick the rear end out. You have to flex the front and rear opposite directions. Like, it really just looks so twisted up in there, and it's really cool for pictures. It's really cool just to show what the buggy will do, you know? So we're gonna name it Spider Monkey.
Yeah, I love it. Spider Monkey it is. So after Cade broke it in, he spotted me through it, and then he spotted Derek through it. This thing is so wild, and it has me toying with the idea of maybe getting rid of one of my Jeeps and building a buggy. Probably won't do that anytime soon, but I definitely have a good time in that thing. What'd you think of it, Derek?
I think we need one. I really want one, actually. This thing is so sick. I just can't believe what it's capable of. There's no words that can describe it, so I'm just stoked on today.
Oh yeah, so we're having a blast out here, and we're gonna find some more obstacles, something to play around with in the 392. Like I said, there's something for everyone out here, which is super awesome. You guys need to come check this place out.
I'm bad as bad can be, so bad that it's hard to believe. Oh, what they say about me. I'm bad, take a look and see. So bad that it's hard to believe. I don't care what they say about me.
All right, we just got Cade's buggy all loaded up. Man, what an epic day it was out here in Choke Cheery. Cade, thank you so much for hosting us out here and just showing us this beautiful system of trails and letting us go out and have a good time together.
Yeah, of course, man. I had a blast. It was a ton of fun letting you guys drive Frankenstein and getting you guys in some sketchy situations. You know, it was just fun putting the car through its paces, watching the Jeep go, you know. I had a blast. You guys can come back whenever you want.
Yeah, man, really appreciate that. It was so awesome being able to drive that buggy again. I got to play around with it a little bit in Moab, but definitely been itching to get back out. It was great having the Jeep out here. Like I said, there's just so much to do out here. Doesn't matter your skill level, what kind of 4x4 you have. It could be a stock Jeep. You could come out and have an absolute blast in Choke Cheery. So drop me a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions about the trails out here, about Cade Rods, Jimmy's 4x4 buggy. And as always, hit the like button if you did and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, wander on.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.